Spider-Man 1, the movie game for GBA, was released in 2002 by Digital Eclipse, where you play as your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's kinda surprising to me how much you can do with Spidey inside a simple Game Boy Advance game. The web action is so fun to mess around with and see what kind of crazy movements you can do. Jumping and continuing to hit the jump button will allow you to swing around the level quickly. The R button lets you shoot a web that connects to a surface and pulls you towards it. Unlike the PS2 counterpart, the web action is something I genuinely enjoyed and experimented with. It may be because swinging wasn't frustrating and the web pulls weren't disorienting in the 2D where your perspective stays the same. Beating up baddies is fun. Every blow has bold comic sound effects pop up. You have a bunch of abilities to collect. You have bombs, super strength, invincibility, web domes, radioactive spider semen, and web balls. Levels are large and full of objects to collect. Missions can range from saving civilians, disarming bombs, or simply reaching the end of the map. My personal favorite maps were escaping a collapsing building or Shocker's subway level. Dodging all these trains was super fun to figure out.
You're fired!
Although some of the later levels get kinda crowded with enemies and traps, Oscorp's security measures I guess mean turning the entire corporation into the largest OSHA violation in history.
No cry.
Bosses are better than the PS2 counterparts, but not by much. Although I do like how each villain is portrayed much more. Osborn has this hilarious moment where his assistant is telling him he can't go any further without human trials on the formula.
I don't care. We need results fast. I'll test it.
But, sir, you can't possibly.
Shocker is terrified of Spidey, thinking we're gonna eat him as he's shaking on the ground. After beating Kraven for a second time, he learns respect for you and is like, "Shoot, Spidey, you beat me? I'll just wait here for the police then." Animations are surprisingly crisp across the board for a Game Boy game. Every movement from swinging to being shocked clearly had a lot of work put into it. The swinging segments are some of the best animations I've seen on the GBA. Except when Green Goblin and Shocker are standing with their rippling abs and like some sort of pulsating green glow. The actual boss fights themselves are very bland. The most thought out boss I believe was the giant spider monster at the end of the Oscorp level. I feel like the game could have almost been a Metroidvania, but with Spider-Man, and with a few added things like levels and stats. It's not perfect, but as a fan of platformers and Spider-Man, you could do much, much worse. Anyways, have a good day, you fungoids.